Hi everyone, Father Anthony here, and this little video series that we'll see how many of these I end up doing, but I'm gonna tentatively call it, these are a few of my favorite books. As you can see, I love books, I love reading, I'm a total nerd. This is a video where I will share with you a book that I have enjoyed, I have gotten a lot out of, that I've benefited from. And just kind of give you a brief little glimpse into like what I liked about it and some of the kind of the good stuff that I gleaned from it. And so then you can maybe put it on your holiday wish list, or, you know, fill up a bookcase full of books that maybe you'll get around to reading one day. So today's book that I'm going to talk to you a little bit about is Thomas Dubay's Fire Within. All right, so the reason why did I pluck this off of my bookshelf today? Well, so if you were paying attention to Mass this weekend, if you were at Mass with me, where I celebrated the Eucharist, I preached about St. John of the Cross. This guy right there, St. John of the Cross, a Carmelite priest from the 1500s. He is one of the great mystics of our tradition. And he and St. Teresa of Avila, that's who that is right there on the cover of this particular edition of The Fire Within by Fr Thomas Dubay. What's great about this book is that it is a wonderful introduction to the theology of St. John of the Cross and St. Teresa of Avila. It's this wonderful exposition of just what the Carmelite thing is and why they are masters of prayer and why they can teach us so much about having a relationship, a lived relationship with our Lord on a daily basis. So this past weekend in my homily, I talked about St. John of the Cross and his image of a fire, right? Of a log that has caught on fire. So he uses that image to describe what it's like to become more and more perfectly united with the Lord. So a log that is initially placed on the fire it starts to get scorched and singed, right? It gets kind of blackened on the outside, and it's kind of burning off all that exterior superficial stuff. And John of the Cross, as this book kind of goes into as well, is all about growing in detachment, right? Detachment from everything that is not God. And when we clear the way in our heart so that God can come in, because he's already pursuing us, he's already coming towards us. It's always an advent of God, right? He's always coming into our hearts and into our lives. So that process, though, looks like detachment, right? God is going to pull apart all the stuff in our life that is keeping us back from really focusing on him. And so with that image of a log, all the exterior superficial stuff gets burned off so that there can be a deep fire within, right? So that the log itself can catch fire down into its deepest core so that it can start to glow and be hot with the same fire of that fire which is our God, the divine fire. Our God is a consuming fire. I just really like this book. I think it's a great introduction. If you've always been curious about John of the Cross or Teresa of Avila and you're too scared to kind of pick up Ascent of Mount Carmel or The Dark Night of the Soul or the Interior Castle, which is fine because those things are freaky and they are just really hard to read. But if you're interested in learning more, this is a great start. This is a great book. Let's see if I can find another book off of my shelf that is also a book that I recommend for this kind of thing. Here it is. All right. So this is another one. If Fire Within does not pique your interest, and if you're more interested in just John of the Cross specifically, this is another great one. This is The Impact of God by Ian Matthew. I've never seen Ian spelled that way before, but there it is. This is another great little introduction to John of the Cross's thought. I think in today's day and age where we are so cluttered, where we have so much stuff at our fingertips, where materialism is so rampant, and where we just, we're attached to things, right? We're attached to our phones. We're attached to Netflix. We're attached to comforts. We're attached to this feeling that we are in control. John of the Cross is a really good guy to get to know and ask for his intercession from, because he shows us the way of falling in love with God in such a way that we become more and more detached from the lowly earthly things of this life, all these creatures that are good in themselves, but if we treat them as ends, if we stop with creatures, if we stop with stuff, then we're never going to be satisfied. We're never going to be on fire with love and with mercy and with that deep abiding joy that we all want. So, Fire Within, this is one of my favorite books. Check it out, and God bless you guys this Advent.